This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 239.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology. Why, hello there, everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, a couple of things. Upcoming events, as we always start with. We have two WordCamps and one event. WordCamp Turku, September 28th. It's a one-day camp. It's out in Finland. WordCamp Lausanne, it's in Switzerland, September 20th and 29th. So you have two WordCamps not in the U.S., which is awesome. Switzerland, I should go to that one. I wonder what that would cost me real quick to pop over to Switzerland. Maybe I'll check that out next weekend. All right. And one other event, my class is coming up. My next iteration of my WordPress Essentials course starts on October 10th. It's about 20 days away approximately from recording this day. It's in a webinar format. It's $97. If you are looking to learn WordPress Essentials, core functionality, basics, overview, 3-week course in the webinar format, check it out. wpe.kitchensinkwp.com. Be a link in the show notes as well. I'd love to have you in the course. Okay, moving on to segment 1 in the news. A couple things to share here. We have Gutenberg news. 3.8 was released, and this new version adds full screen mode that hides both the admin bar and the menu. So unlike previous versions of distraction-free writing mode where things would fade in and out of view, these two things will stay hidden until the mode is disabled by you, the user. There you go. And also WordPress 4.9.9 is due for release on November 5th. So this iteration, this version, the 0.9, is working. The focus areas are accessibility, internationalization, site health, and some Gutenberg preparation. So if you want, there's a link in the show notes if you want to see that roadmap there as well. So is that it? I think that's it in the news. Yeah, moving right along, cranking it out. Okay, so this week, meat and potatoes, I'm talking about advanced custom fields, because way back on episode 110, I talked about WordPress collaboration tools, and I mentioned ACF, otherwise known as Advanced Custom Fields, and how it worked within Project Panorama. And I mentioned in that episode that I would dive deeper into ACF in the future. So 100 plus episodes later, and with version 5 of ACF just being released, that time is now. Okay, so first and foremost, this will be a 25,000 foot view of ACF because it can get real technical really quick. It does, and it has, even for me. And I know it's hard to explain certain things in an audio format. So first and foremost, or second and foremost, I don't know, I already said first and foremost once, but I asked a few friends for their definition of ACF to describe it to somebody who has never heard of it or who's heard of it but didn't know what it did because it's a popular plugin. So Kyle defined it as, quote, an easy way to customize the fields shown when editing content. And Jamie said it extends WordPress in such a way that other platforms keep under lock and key and that allow him to run his business. So that was pretty interesting. And we end up talking more about it as well, but that's the takeaway that I had from him, is that it does give you a lot of control in customizing WordPress because of the open source nature of what it is. So from the ACF website, it's defined as Advanced Custom Fields is a WordPress plugin which allows you to add extra content fields to your WordPress edit screens. These extra content fields are more commonly known as custom fields, and you can build websites faster. So what's that all mean? Why would you use it? How might I be using it? And I'll explain an option of how I'm going to use it for this, for Kitchen Sink WP podcast website at the end of this as well. So as it's been mentioned, it's a plugin. There's a free level and a pro level. And I believe the free level has over 1 million active installs, which is a pretty strong testament to its solid foundation, its coding, its acceptance in the environment, in the WordPress space. Okay. So I went ahead and I downloaded it. Well, FYI, I actually did buy the pro version. I did not get a free copy. It's on sale right now. It's the version 5. They're having a 50% off coupon. I'll think if I can link to that in show notes, but you can find that on their website, on their blog as well. Anyway, so I downloaded the plugin, the Pro. I'm not even that advanced yet. I just felt like it was worth it because I want to get into this. I activated it. I'm running it on a local environment thanks to Desktop Server. Again, of course, it's my favorite local environment development area. And first thing I noticed after I activated it was is a new menu area called Custom Fields, and there are 4 sections within that. There's Field Groups, Add New, Tools, and Updates. Working bottom to top, updates is where you can put your license key in if you have a pro version, and it checks for new versions. Tools is a way to export and import settings that you have created, fields and whatnot. Add new, you can create the new fields and groups, and then field groups lets you see all of them that you have as well as create more in there. So pretty standard fare for what you can get with any kind of plugin and its settings and whatnot. So what then? Well, then I checked the ACF website for docs, and I got to tell you, they have some amazing documentation. Literally, the best place to start is, as I'll link in the show notes, getting started with ACF. It's the place to start because otherwise I'm like, well, what do I do here? So you create technically a field group, and then inside that you create different fields, and you have the ability to connect them to different pages, posts, rules, segmentation. It's so deep, so quick, and that's why I want to try to keep this in a very light level or a top view level. But I wanted to try something. I wanted to see if I could make this work and how I might use this. So I created a custom group, and the group was EOTM, which stands for Employee of the Month. Inside that group, I have 3 new fields: employee name, which is a text field; about employee, which is a text. What's the word? So it's more of a text area, right? So it's more text you can add to the area because just a text field will be just a single line of text. And I added an image, and that's where I want to put the employee image. Okay. So I thought this would be kind of a cool little test to see, this is where if I was a company and I wanted to have an employee of the month, it'd be easy for someone to go in and change this without having to do much modifications to the theme or the layout of said theme. Okay. So you can also make these custom fields appear on specific locations, pages and posts. So in this case, it's only on the page employee of the month in my sample case. Okay. So now what? Well, that's where it kind of stumped me. I created those things and I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know where to put them, how to integrate them. I see them on that page. In this case, it was Employee of the Month page. I see it there, but how do I get it to show up on the front end of something? So I had my realization after a quick discussion with my buddy Greg Franklin that I needed to add code to the page in question. And Advanced Custom Fields give you that code on their website. They show you how to do this, that calls the field, hooks into the database, etc. And you can add that code to functions.php, single.php, different places based on what you might need. Okay, but what if you're not comfortable in that coding? You don't want to dive in that deep to really have to take the risk of changing something on a code level, on a page level. So there is another way. There's a graphical way. You can use a plugin to connect it to ACF. If you can use pods, which gives you custom post types and it ties right in, or you can use types and views. It's the front end of doing custom post types. Okay. And what I found actually in diving a little deeper, spending more time, really not really diving deeper, I guess it is that since I use Beaver Builder as my theme, the Beaver Builder has the ability for the modules to let me tie in directly to ACF itself. And I use Beaver Builder Themer to do this because I was building out some themes and templates. So, and on top of all that, you can then really limit the user roles to what can be seen. So if I have someone who has access as an editor, they can't then go change the Beaver Builder settings. Only the posts and pages will show up for them, not the Beaver Builder settings. And it can lock things down. So it really enables me as the web developer to control the interface, the user experience of, quote, the content editor, if that makes sense. So they can't, and they won't have any fear of messing up code, formatting modules. And that is the main key. I want people who I'm building websites for, we want that experience to be really easy for them to add certain content and not mess with the formatting of the actual the formatting of the overall layout and design of the website. Does that make sense? Okay, so a takeaway here in how I'm thinking of using it, specifically for KitchensinkWP. I have the tip and tool of the week, which will come up after this, in the post area. And looking back, 239 episodes ago, I really wish I had done a custom post type for that. I didn't know about custom post types back then, because if I had a CPT, I could then have that content appear in different places. It'd be easier for me to export and search easier. So for example, right now, if you're searching for a keyword on my website, which I don't think I'm gonna have a search button available, but for me to find a tip or tool of the week or a recommendation, it's hard on KitchensinkWP right now. And so with ACF, Advanced Custom Fields, and Beaver Builder, I can create a custom field called Tip and Tool of the Week and have it be a text field and then also have it be a link, a URL. And then I could enter that link and have that appear on on each post page, would it just show up there automatically. In that way, when I if I want to update my free ebook for the 101 tips and tools that I've chosen, it would automatically export those for me. I could go in and do a data pull, and it'd be much easier versus having, when I did this a few months ago, I had to do it manually, look at each post, copy, paste into an Excel spreadsheet. It just was not ideal. So that's for me using Beaver Builder. And so what if you're not using Beaver Builder? Well, great news. Also, in researching this, I found out that advanced custom fields will work with many, many, many themes. And it's been told to me by my friend Alissa Herr, who was on episode 237 a few weeks ago, that version 5 has strong ties into and support for Gutenberg, which is coming. But I didn't even get to that part yet because, again, ACF is amazingly deep and has a lot of power. So, but knowing that its Gutenberg support is already there is really, really interesting to me as well. So, to wrap it up, if you're looking to up your game in development for yourself, for your clients, for user experience, in the editor of creation of content, check it out. Simple as that. I am not connected to them in any which way. I have no affiliate relationship with them. I just bought it, and I bought the pro version. It was normally it's 100 US. I'm sorry, it's 100 Australian. It's half off right now, so it's like $37. So FYI, check that out. And that leads me to the tip and tool of the week because it's going to be Advanced Custom Fields as the plugin. Simple as that. Try the free version. Start there. The pro version gives you some additional features, like a whole bunch of them for repeating columns, for duplicating things. I think there's just more power. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to get there. I'm incentivized now to get there with the $37 that I invested. So check that out as well. That's my tip and tool of the week, segment 3. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Like I said, quick 25,000 foot view. So there you have it. If you have any questions, go ahead and send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the SpeakPipe functionality of the website. And if you want to support the show, you can do that through Patreon. And I want to thank those people who are supporting the show. I really do appreciate the support. It helps cover the costs, my Libsyn feed, my Libsyn hosting, etc. I do really appreciate the people who are supporting the show. So thanks for listening. See you next week. Go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.